Hello, you again. Welcome to the Medicine Show. I want to talk about something that I will call reality compartmentalization. Um, it is something that we're all dealing with right now. Our problem is not war or crime or hate. Our real problem stems from something else. Crime and hate and strife and destitution and scarcity. These are effects. These aren't underlying causes. Our problem, actually, is cowards. Now, I'm reading, folks, so you're going to see my eyes going back and forth, so I don't, lose my place. So, forgive me. I'm, just in a flesh man suit, and it has its limitations, so you'll be all right. All right, so our problem is actually cowards. Now, cowards are terrified of their own existence because they're terrified of a lack of control. Cowards say and do anything to try to maintain control of everyone, control of everything, and even try to control nature itself. They use law to confuse, intimidate, and subdue. They do not use law to free, enlighten, or to express love. Cowards strive to create an illusion of scarcity, destitution, and they capitalize on the fear that it creates. Cowards do not look for autonomy, but rather they form hierarchies and groups to satisfy their illusion of safety. In fear, the cowards subject themselves to those who they believe are the most powerful, and those that they believe have the most control already. To a coward, it doesn't matter if their master is kind or criminal, as they seek only the safety of the master's protection. A coward will do anything to please his master, even take the lives of others, and even their own life. Now that you know what a coward is, I will show you how they gain control over others. Reality compartmentalization is the coward's primary weapon. It includes labeling. Labeling is to, create names for everything. They use separation and division. And by labeling things, you create a new distinct entity or group. They promote group promotion and group think. They love it when a lot of people think the same way because they're self-monitoring. They tend to shun those that don't believe as the group believes. There's a lot of self-control exhibited by those who align themselves with cowards or are cowards themselves. Any group out there that employs a constructive model whereby they begin enjoying spontaneous abundance is a threat to the cowards. Okay? So whether you are a particular, spiritual group or a political group or, maybe a fancy car club, if your internal principles allow you to begin to enjoy abundance, then you pose a threat because you're demonstrating their inability to control, and that is terrifying to them. So in order to combat any group that employs a constructive model, they'll first attempt to infiltrate the group and subvert it from the inside, creating discord inside the group or division inside the group such that they could be, disenfranchised within the group, or even fight amongst themselves. If they can't fully infiltrate the group, then they'll employ something that I'll call duplication. So let's say, for instance, you're a particular spiritual group. I hesitate to use the word religious, but let's just say you're a particular group that understands certain principles of the universe and begins employing those principles, and wow, lo and behold, you're doing real good. All your needs are satisfied. So what they do is, and generally the trap we fall into is, if we are of a particular group, we like to identify ourselves specifically, so that, and this is a form of vanity. It also helps us communicate, however. I mean, there are positive aspects to actually labeling yourself as somebody, in particular. So once you use that particular label, okay, they create what's called duplication. So what they'll do is they'll take aside, some other people outside of the group, and let's just say they start, materially supporting that group, and then those people outside of the first group begin calling themselves by the same label. Now, this new, group, who identifies themselves as the first group, engages in all manner of ridiculous or absurd or abusive or violent actions, such that people on the outside looking at the group then tend to look at that first group or the label, and they say, well, you know what, these people are not something that I want around, because look, they're going around killing people and they're calling themselves by that first label, so there's something wrong with them, and I'm going to resist them. So in this way, it's very easy, once you establish a label, to be duplicated and then thrown down, because you have, carpetbaggers and outsiders using that label to destroy the good name of the first group that was enjoying abundance. Now, they've done this over and over and over again, and they love to switch these labels around, because they can basically just throw that on any bunch of criminals and say, hey, look, these are the wonderful good people. And, of course, we all look on the outside and say, well, you know what? These are not the wonderful good people. But then the wonderful good people, they're looking around going, hey, man, that's not us, man. That's not us. But, guess what? Nobody's listening. All right. So the second we start grouping up, and the second we start enjoying abundance, and the second we start applying our own principles, we become a threat. Once we label ourselves, then we can be duplicated, infiltrated, and quite frankly, that's the end. So once they create duplication and once they create division, they tend to set one group against one another, or members inside the group against one another, and they create all of this division. And that division causes us to devote our energies not towards a more unifying, more wholesome, state, but one of strife, conflict, aggression, and disagreement. And that's exactly what cowards want. They want us fighting amongst ourselves. Oh, heaven forbid we all get along, right? Oh my gosh, how do they control that? It's terrifying. It's terrifying. It's exactly what I'm trying to promote here. I love to scare cowards. There's nothing more satisfying than a coward running away. So, one needs to realize that for quite some time, okay, the cowards have been employing what we call the media. Well, they've been employing everything. They've been employing religion, finance, government, literature, science, just about politics, just about everything out there. Any kind of, established institution out there is creating these subdivisions. Now, here in the multiverse, it has its greatest strength can be its greatest weakness. In the multiverse here, each one of us individual facets that are here, part of the one, just experiencing life, in privacy, we enjoy subjectively the universe as we need it to be, individually and personally. Our universes touch one another, and so then we share knowledge, we share information, we share experience. It's what makes the universe fun. It is a multiverse. The universe is a multiverse, which could be a little confusing, but each one of us has our own universe. So that makes it fun. It also provides us a nearly unlimited amount of freedom and ability to experience anything that we need to experience, for whatever reason that we came here. That's also its greatest weakness, because that individual compartment of universes can each be individually manipulated. So the cowards capitalize on that to split us up into our own little universes and make it smaller and smaller and smaller, such that we don't get together and we don't find agreement and we don't think as one mind. Right now we're getting to the point where, there could be 7 billion individual universes, and we can all find ways to disagree. But who's actually promoting agreement? Who's actually saying, well, hey, what goes on in your universe is your business. What goes on in my universe is my business. If you'd like to share, I'd like to listen. That doesn't mean I will accept what's in your universe, and it's okay that I don't accept it. Right? I'll share what's in my universe. And whether or not you accept it is totally up to you. It's not for me to force you, and it's not like I really can anyway. There's nothing going to enter your universe against your will. I would suggest that maybe it's a good idea that you be a little skeptical before you allow certain concepts and ideas to enter into your universe and become governing principles in your experience. Especially those that suggest that, you're not important. Oh, you're important to me. In fact, you're vital and crucial to me. I look at you from my perspective in my universe as merely a reflection of me, and your behavior reflects who I am and how I react to that, and whether I accept it or reject it based on my own judgment with respect to that which is in my universe. That's all my power. It's all your power too. I suggest you start doing it. Let me introduce you to a new concept. It's a little word. It's no. You can say no, thank you. You can be more well-mannered if you'd like. But no's a great word. No. I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to think that way. And there's nothing you can do to stop me from thinking that way. There's nothing you're going to do to, cause me to think in a particular way. I decide, I judge what I need in my universe. The reflection does not. In that way, I'm in control of my own confusion. I'm in control of my own clarity. I think skepticism and stubbornness is wonderful. As long as you know what to be skeptical of and what to be stubborn about. Applied in the wrong way, it can cause suffering. If you're suffering, perhaps maybe you just need to rethink your process. Or, heaven forbid, you actually admit that you're wrong or you made a mistake. It's okay. We came here to blow it. That's the way it works. As long as you don't keep doing the same thing over and over again, because we know what that is, don't we? All right. The objective of these cowards and the utilization of reality compartmentalization is demoralization. And in essence, what demoralization is forgetting who you are, where you are, and and why you are here. Because when you know those things, there's no need for fear in your experience. That's what the cowards are afraid of. Because if there's nothing in your experience to fear, then there's no need for you to fear them. And if you don't fear them, they can't control you. Because if there's fear in you, then you control yourself. And they just sit there and let you. Good trick, huh? Now, how do they get you to forget who you are? Well, they condition you to accept only their view, where they are the authority, and they alone have complete power over every aspect of your life. That condition is based on, a fundamental, in that you're conditioned, and conditioning is simply, laying a bunch of fancy loser suits all over the place. Now, they don't make you put them on, right? But you see all these loser suits laying around, and you decide, hey, I'm going to put one on, right? And then one guy puts them on and feels terrible. Of course, he doesn't want to admit he made a mistake, so he tries to convince all the other people, hey, you should put on this loser suit, and you can be just like me. And we can be losers together. Yeah. A lot of loser suits walking around, and they are just so trendy and fashionable. Should try one on. Oh, maybe you already did. Now, this conditioning starts very early. Okay? And what they do is, part of the conditioning is they show you the right and the wrong authorities to take as, guiding, overarching principles. Okay, your teacher is infallible. Although they say, oh, well, you should question the teacher. Yeah, go ahead and try it. Anybody that's in class been made a fool of because, you don't, oh, what? You don't accept this truth that I'm giving you? You're just nothing. Hey, everybody else in the class, look, hey, Johnny is thinking differently. He's got a different idea. And it's very subtle. And not only that, but hey, there's a guy on our street, doesn't mow his lawn. He's reducing all of our property values because he doesn't mow his lawn. Well, the guy likes wildflowers. He likes nature. He likes the fact that, hey, weeds are in his yard for a reason. They're conditioning the soil, and if the soil didn't need exactly what the weeds were providing, then the weeds wouldn't be there. Oh, but we can't think that because it has to be mowed. Oh my gosh. We need that kind of plant out of our yard. Oh my gosh, he left his trash can by the curb because, oh my gosh. Oh, how dare he be tired, or how dare he forget? Oh, that's unacceptable. He made a mistake. He is less than I am. Let's shun him. Let's make him feel bad. Let's get him back into the group where we can protect him. So, in this conditioning, eventually what happens is they will offer you fiction, and you'll take it as truth. And then when you're further demoralized, they'll be able to put truth in front of you and you will reject it as fiction. That's demoralization. Now, what that does is it sets up a situation where you never figure out the rules that are used to control you and maintain your state of confusion. And most people now exist in confusion, thoroughly convinced that they have no purpose, no value, and they are completely under control of a master they cannot escape. While they remain in this confused state, the cowards are their master. The nature of confusion is that the confused are the last ones to even suspect that they are confused. Because the instant we question it, or even suspect that we are confused, that's when the spell is broken. That instant where we think, maybe I'm not thinking correctly. That's it. It's done. It loses all its power over you. All right, so what do? Okay, well, let's take Venezuela, for instance. Okay, what these guys have done, the cowards, okay, is they sowed division, they sowed conflict, right? And then they create this illusion of scarcity and destitution. Oh, you don't have anything. Oh my gosh, your economy is collapsing. Oh, that valueless money is all gone. What will we do? Well, really? Okay. So what's their response? Oh, they devote all their energy to fighting against empty buildings. Because the cowards, they're gone. They're not going to hang around for this. They'll pump guns in. They'll pump in confusion. They will set one group against one another. And these people will devote all their energy into that conflict. They will, in essence, get rid of themselves. Then what happens if all the people in Venezuela actually stop, attacking empty buildings or trying to, attack people that have long since gone? And just actually stop, look around, see what they do have, work on feeding themselves, devote their energy to just basics, their own immediate sustainability. I'm sure that there's plenty of stuff to eat. If there are people that are teaching people out there what you can eat and what you can't eat, and then people set about gathering such that others could actually work on, producing, maybe, some sort of agricultural crops. And then keep all the cowards out of there. The cowards don't know what to do when you're not afraid of them. All we need to do is just stop being afraid of them. Realize who we are. That we are the immense being that exists in eternity. And that we really have nothing to be afraid of. That the entire universe, your universe, my universe, the multi-universe itself is just an illusion. Just a highly organized thought. Used to bring us very constructive experience. So that we can better know ourselves. Know our true power. And just know how wonderful everything is. And then, in the end, maybe we can just love one another. Enjoy abundance. And we don't have to deal with cowards ever again. I see a day where people are no longer afraid. You don't have to fight the cowards. They're cowards. They run away. The last thing they will do is stand and fight. Because they're cowards. It is we, cowards, who subject ourselves to the head honcho coward. And we abuse other people that we really shouldn't be abusing. Why? Because we are afraid. We are afraid, so we need a gun. We're going to shoot and abuse people because the head coward says so. You never want to be under the thumb of a coward because he will kill you just because he's afraid of you. And I don't care how much you think you're helping him or you think you're supporting him. Eventually, he will look at you as a threat, and you will end yourself. Hope this helps. As always, thank you for being me.